Hello. It's good to be back. I hope you've missed me just a little bit. Hello, folks, and welcome back to Glory Hunter with me, DoctorBenjy FM. Good to see you. I hope I find you very, very well. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've been back on this channel, but it's good to be back. And of course, we welcome back Glory Hunter. And for those of you that are wondering, well, what is Glory Hunter? Well, here's a little recap of what this is. So what is Glory Hunter? Well, Glory Hunter is a football manager challenge created and made famous by popular 2016 to 18 YouTube. That sounds like I've died. That's not, we shouldn't have put that. The aim of the save then is to win the top domestic title and FA Cup equivalent across the top 5 leagues in Europe. Those are England, France, Germany, Italy and Spain, as well as winning the Champions League and the Europa League in continental competitions and the World Cup and European Champions. No. Due to FM's international modes being rubbish and the managing of international teams alongside club teams being especially miserable, I've decided to change the rules and instead replace those competitions with the Europa Conference League. And what's the catch? Well, you've only got 20 in-game seasons to do it, and the countdown starts now-ish. So what we're going to do, and you've seen the thumbnail of the video, you know what's happening here. In the last few years then, I've picked Inter and Milan as my starting teams in Glory Hunter challenges. And this year I thought, I'm going to let you decide. You decide where we start this challenge, but I'm not going to give you every option in world football. I don't want to start in the Vanarama National. I know what you lot are like. I've got 5 options to bring you then of teams I think would be an interesting start point, or maybe inspiration for yourselves to start the challenge as well. So let's go through them and let's talk through the options. There'll be a poll in the description down below where you can go and vote on the options and cast your vote. You've got 24 hours starting now. That countdown has started. So get down there and click. But first, let me try and sell you some dreams. So let's start with a bit of a wild card. Ajax. Now, they're not in the Glory Hunter Challenge. The Netherlands is not in the Glory Hunter Challenge. But why not follow in the footsteps of some great managers of the past? You know, start in Holland, work your way over. They're in Europe. So, you know, they're in the Champions League. I mean, I don't think I'm going to win the Champions League. They've got £30 million to spend, and the squad is, well, you know the squad. It's Ajax. It's always going to have some really good young youth players. It's a good start, Ben. Some really high-quality young players that are going to obviously go on to produce bigger and better things. Now, of course, it would waste a year if you don't win a European competition. I'll try. And of course, if you start Ajax, we will mainly be focusing on winning European competitions. The idea of winning the league is great and good for reputation, and of course increases the challenge. And the idea of not doing so well at Ajax might appeal to you when I end up at Burnley. I don't know why I always choose Burnley. But of course, if this goes wrong and we start Ajax, yeah, the budgets are good and things like this, but if it goes badly and we don't perform in the Eredivisie, which again, you might think is unlikely, then it does produce, well, it produces its own problems. But the very idea of starting outside of the top 5 divisions is something people have talked about for a while. And I thought this time around, well, I'll give you the chance. So, team number 1 as an option is Ajax. Weren't expecting that one, were you? Well, you've seen the thumbnail. You were kind of expecting that one. All right, next up, let's go to Germany. And let's look at Leipzig, because I think you can agree, out of the sides in Germany, you're basically, can we beat Bayern Munich? And of course, in Glory Hunter's gone past, we've been at Leipzig before. And in terms of the options available to us, they are one of the very exciting options. The team they've got, some of the players they've got, and Kunku's still there, hasn't moved to Chelsea, of course, at the start of the year. So Timo Werner is with him, Dani Olmo, Szoboszlai, or Dominic, as I would more likely call him. And it's a fun squad, Gardeval as well, right? They've got some really good, again, similar to Ajax, they've got some really good young players that are going to develop and become more. And with this being a 20-year challenge, it might be a good place to start and try and topple Bayern, an aging Bayern, you might say, relatively early. Of course, not the favourite in that division, although I think they're closer to Dortmund than the odds perhaps suggest. Budget-wise then, 17 million to start, so we could do a little bit, nice bit of wage budget there as well. And of course, toppling Bayern will be the goal in Germany. Cup competitions, of course, available too. We know how strong Bayern are, but equally, I think Leipzig are pretty strong. So there's option number 2, off to Germany, where I've had mixed results. We all remember Dortmund. If you don't remember Dortmund, just know that I did really well there, and there's no more to that story. There is historical context. Yeah. All right, so Ajax number 1, Leipzig number 2, time for number 3. Lots of you want to see me have some pain, so this might be up your street, viewers. Monaco. Now, the problem in Monaco, it's a lovely place. I'd love to live there. Do you know what? I'd love to be there. The stadium looks nice and looks good for running as well, which is not a plus point for me, really. Benjy, of course, their star man up front, and a squad that's really quite exciting, really interesting. One of my arch nemesis in Football Manager, Kevin Volland, plays for them as well. So it'd be nice to finally manage him rather than having punish me every time I play him. Minamino's there, Golovin's there as well, Brian Bolo. It's a fun, exciting team. Badashile's there, he's not gone to Chelsea yet. So, of course, not the favourites in France, are they? And I don't know how long I would let it last. I mean, they've done it before, but of course, these boys over in Paris are quite formidable. I spent one glory. I mean, sorry, I was going to go on a different time. That's terrifying. I mean, the fact Benjy is in there ahead of Neymar is a bit surprising. 17 million to spend again, no wage budget, but a little bit of wiggle room to maybe bring in a player here or there if we think that's going to help strengthen us against the might of Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, of course, there are other French teams as well. We could always move there if it's not going very well at Monaco. I've got, again, cup competitions. Sure. Monaco happen to be in the Champions League. Sure. So who knows what could happen? But off to France and off to Monaco, it's an option. They're all options. All right, let's go from one extreme to sort of another. Now listen, this next one, and I'm going to level with you. We'll divide the room. Okay, I'm understanding of that. It's I don't know why there's guilt attached. It's Newcastle. Now this is the only team as an option that start not in Europe. So there's that challenge. First season would very much be about the league and the FA Cup if you were to start in England with Newcastle United. You know, elephant in the room. They've got some money to spend. 40 million in year one. But if you've done a Newcastle save or watched one before, you'll know that in the upcoming years, money. They push all the money in your face. The current squad is not too bad. With the signing of Alexander Isak, then that has made them a lot stronger, as well as a few others, right? The likes of Sven Botman. Joel Linton is now a central midfielder and one of the best central midfielders in the Premier League. Yeah, it's a timeline I didn't expect. Players like St. Maximin are exciting. And if you want to see me start in England at a team not in the conventional Big Six, then this might be the option for you. Newcastle United. Do I need to say much more? Probably not. We know the situation. They've got loads of money. The problem I would maybe have with Newcastle is that I would build them into a powerhouse that I would then struggle to defeat in future years. Yeah. Or they might just do that on their own. We will find out. I'm looking forward to seeing Newcastle in 20 years, how much they've achieved. And of course, there's a potential that I end up at all these teams. Maybe not Ajax, but all these teams. All right, let's stick with the black and white now as we go to, well, you know, an old friend of ours. And by an old friend, I mean the country where we always seem to start glory hunters. That's right, it's Juventus. Now, Juve have had a very difficult real-life season. They've not done very well at all. And when you start the save at Juventus, this is the thing. In terms of squads, you probably look at this and go, they've got a really good squad. Oh, hang on a minute, Ben. How bad are those injuries? Yes, bad. Pogba's out 4 to 5 months. Chiesa's out 4 to 5 months. Angel Di Maria, 2 months. Weston McKennie, who cares? Now the decision rests with you. So if this series ends after 70 episodes, I know who to blame. It'll be me again. But you now have the decision. One final thing that I haven't mentioned up till now. Every time I am offered a job, not an interview, offered a job, you will get to decide. That's right. Every time I am offered a chance to move on, I will ask you, shall we stay or shall we go? It really will be your fault. I will say, for the good of the series, it'd be really not fun if you make me stay at the same team for 20 years. There might have to be an investigation. I won't do it. It will just be a building Ajax save, which will not be as good. Free choice. So there we are then. They're the options for you. that's how the series lines up now. And of course, we're now into the Conference League rather than the international tournaments, which I think is a good thing for all of us. And while I'm sure you've seen polls before, click the link in the description. It'll take you to this page and you can vote on who I'm managing. I should say, you do have to sign into Google for this, just so you can't vote more than once. Unless you've got 2 Google accounts, then you can vote more than once. So yeah, be kind. I don't know what I want, so go on then. And of course, I encourage you to start your own Glory Hunter save at the same time. Set that 20-year limit and keep me updated, whether it be on Twitter or Discord or in my Twitch channel. I'm live almost every single day at the moment on Twitch. I know I've not been making YouTube videos as often, but I have been on Twitch almost every single day of the year so far, I feel like. So yeah, come on over there. We're doing a journeyman starting in Europe and building our way around, not Glory Hunter. But yeah, I've got a live channel with loads of VODs that you can go back and watch if you want to catch up on hours and hours and hours of, there's lots of hours. And while we're mentioning things, the GTA series is back as well. I return as Jack Space, where I'm, the Adventures of Jack Space are something that if you've never seen before, it's Grand Theft Auto RP. I recommend it. I promise you'll like it. I promise you'll like it. Here's a short clip of that, very short clip of that, to give you maybe a little taste. Is that Deliveroo? Hello, mate. Evening. Oh, sorry about that.
Bro, look up the way.
No, that, to be fair, that was my fault. You got me banged to rights there. Do you need a hand? Okay. Right. I know you're going to be annoyed, but I feel like you drove into me there.
Look where you're going.
No, it's valid. I thought I was just offering to help, actually. So it's good to be back. Glory Hunter is back on your screens. The first episode of this series, after you've decided who we're managing, will be on Wednesday at 5 p.m. And then I'll see you on Thursday. I'll see you on Friday and forevermore. Take care, everybody. I'm good to be back. If you're enjoying or excited for the series, do drop a like on it. And I'll see you again soon. We love with care. Oh, dear God.